Hello everyone and welcome to Daily Game Review number 77. Today we have Arucardo versus Evas. So there wasn't a rank on these two players. However, when it was submitted, I think it's around 5Q. So we're going to say around the 5Q area. And we'll see how it goes. Alright, so Black playing a mini Chinese opening. Um, This isn't seen too much because this has a very obvious weakness right here. The shoulder hit to reduce. And when you do that, you can see that this stone is not working with these stones. So actually, I would recommend playing this since it's a lot simpler. That way, if you play something like this, you can easily block, right? So white might not do this immediately, but when you jump back, you actually owe one more move to fix. And if you fix in this way, it's on the 5th line. So it's very easy to invade and live inside of here. And if you live like this, then there's still invasions in Aji, but you lost Sente as well. And if you had played this way, you would actually have Sente. So I don't recommend playing this move. Not unless you're going to immediately get a follow-up, which to me feels a little slow. Yeah, this combination just doesn't look good. All right, I don't recommend G3. There are pros who play it, but when I asked my teacher, who's like a 9-down pro, he said don't worry about playing this. Just go ahead and play normal. Because later, there's some Aji around here, and it's not really worth 2 points for all the Aji. And there might be Aji around here at some point, or around here at some point. Uh, he said that the 2 points right here is not worth Aji. Because the Aji might give black more than 2 points later. So he said he doesn't recommend that I play it, but there are pros who try it and try and use it. So I can't say it's a bad move, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's unnecessary weakness. All right, black plays here, perfectly fine. Don't pincer here. Normally you don't pincer if they have support when you don't. So for example, this is not really a pincer, it's an invasion. But when white gets thickness, your Q4 stone's not safe yet. It's not alive yet. So I would not recommend doing that until you get defense for Q4. And then you can do it later. So for example, if white plays another move, you could then do it later. And it becomes much easier. And if white defends, you get Sente. And then later, you still have an invasion here. Or reduction here. Or just a block here. Something like that. And maybe maybe a peep here. So there's still this stuff there. So I would go for the defense first. Remember, you want to defend yourself first before doing something else. So question 1 is where's my weaknesses? Question 2 is where's my opponent's weaknesses? Question 3 is where's the big move? So this move can be arguably considered a big move, but I guess some people might consider this a weakness for white. However, your weakness comes before your opponent's weakness, so defend first. All right. So I feel like the invasion was not well timed. Even if black got this and white plays, now it feels like you invaded immediately. Nice, and up here is a little bit bigger than this. So I feel like the invasion was not a good time. See, even you wanted to Tanuki, but now if you Tanuki and white plays something like this, and then just fixes, you gave white a big area for no good reason. It's bigger than it should have been, right? Because before, white didn't have this stone. Before, it was only like this. And now if you play it, white can't defend it in one move, right? Even if white plays this way and plays the exact same thing, there's still a peep. So you made an unnecessary exchange. All right, white went here. White, the shoulder hit's a little bit better. It's just easier to deal with, and it hurts black's shape more. About, it's perfectly fine. I wouldn't Hane here. If you're weak, I wouldn't Hane. Because it actually helps black attack you. So no reason to Hane. Just Nobi. This doesn't feel right. Yeah, this is wrong. Don't cut 1 point jumps unless you're super strong on both sides. Or at least on one side. Normally you don't cut 1 point jumps, it's overplay. So this is overplay. Yeah, so here you can't even cut. You figured it out. Black figured it out. Atari, and then Atari. So Black cast the Nobi, right? But then he made a broken shape and didn't get anything from it. And actually, he has to Nobi one more, and then there's still a cut. And if he fixes the cut, then White can still jump out. So it's like you made White strong, but you got yourself in a broken shape. If you want to attack, normally you just surround directly. And you can see White's not nearly as strong now, and White can't cut through or anything. So this is overplay. White played here. Reasonable. I would not be afraid of the Atari. Because what is White going to do? Block? Or what is White going to do? Block? Just live in the corner then. If he fixes, then you... Oops. If he fixes, then you just cut. So I wouldn't worry about the Atari. I think Black needs to fix. And then you can play this way. Or if Black Ataris, you connect, you can still play this way. And you can just connect here. Black takes Unobi. And that way he doesn't get the influence on the outside. So I think this result's really good for White. Really good for White. So we play here. Black plays this way. Watch the Aji Black. White, you can just block with the Tiger's Mouth. Don't leave that peep. This is kind of the vital point of the shape. Because if you recall, this is a Tsuji to connect out. Right? So that makes this move kind of force Black to fix, and then you can do what you have planned. Here, or just here directly. And if Black plays here, you just Nobi, or just Hane, I mean. And if Black jumps, then it's very easy to just cut him off. So normally the diagonal is the way to play here. Here leaves an annoying peep. And there's stuff potentially later. As Black fixes, right? White fixes. I think this works, doesn't it? The biggest issues you have to worry about is here, right? But that works. Maybe that's a problem. What about just going here? This might be okay. Might be possible. So he has to exchange first, and then what if he goes here? Can you just block directly? He goes here, you go here. He goes here, you just cut. Black's gonna die. Black connects. Hard to say. Okay, so maybe it's a little difficult. Maybe it's a little difficult. Maybe this is okay. Maybe it's just too much to read. If I have to read it that much, then probably you don't want to worry about it. Just defend it's okay. Here's okay, but it's worth considering, I think. At the very least. See, now you have this peep. Of course you can give it up. So Black, this is bad timing, actually. I wouldn't go here. I would block here. This is really important. Because this is kind of your base, and you really need your base. So weaknesses first before your opponent's weaknesses. So you did it anyway. Okay. So White, you shouldn't have responded. You should have actually taken advantage of that immediately. And just take the base. And then go play another move. Perhaps here. This seems a little bit slow. Especially if that's Sente. If that's Sente, then that's definitely bigger than this move. Because this move, White lost Sente. Black. Stop trying to kill. This is overplay again. So Black, it seems you overplay too much. Read before you play, and remember your goal isn't to kill. Your goal is not to kill, it's to gain profit. If you wanted to kill, you would have to do something like this and then like this, but it's completely overplay if I can just play here. So at any time. So I could even do this, exchange this, and then block. And already it's looking almost alive. So killing's completely overplay. Instead, you're wanting to gain profit, right? If you want to gain profit, then just cut. Cutting right here is good enough. You connect your stones, you get some thickness. So when you attack, you aim for profit. Don't try to kill. Don't try to overplay like that. There's no reason to. And I can tell you're not reading this through because the reads aren't too difficult. The 1 point jump here, you Atari and then connect, and there's a cut. Well, that was 3 moves, right? If you can't read 3 moves, then you shouldn't be trying these things, because these things, these type of overplay things, they only turn into Tsujis when you read perfectly. So Tsujis are basically overplays that work because you read it perfectly. But this stuff does not. This is completely overplay, and it's just helping white. So stop, get rid of these overplay moves. Stop playing these overplay moves and just play your simple good moves and just take your profit, and then you'll find it's a lot easier to win. There's no reason to overplay so much. Yeah, so white actually got Sente, and all you got was a 2 point reduction. A brave idea. So you're wanting to get the influence here, something like this. And white jumps here, which is what you were worried about. So you played here, and then white came in. White, this may be a little deep. I would exchange this first and then do it. So maybe this is black's last chance to get in the game, so I can't argue with it too much. White misplayed a little bit. Don't lower your own liberties. Just jump. Keep your liberties strong. Also, that might lead to a potential endgame to Suji. You never know. So if white lives, I think white's going to win. White has too many points. White, you can connect. You can connect. The reason is the push and cuts has too many things, and black might try to fix like that, but it's okay because you get forcing moves to go in there. But I suppose you're really concerned about it, so I guess maybe it's okay, but black will get a lot of forcing moves. Now you can connect for sure, because now you're completely alive. And 4 in a row. So I think this is probably game over. Black wasted too many moves up here, and he doesn't have hardly any points. So for white, you're doing good on shapes or whatever, and defense. Don't really have too much advice for white. Just learn the new shapes I showed, because mostly black hurt himself and white just responded. Watch out for these slow moves. Remember the shapes I showed, and try to get rid of any small moves. I think when you play, review your own games and look for any moves that are not necessary. For example, R11, just moves like these. Get rid of all of them. In single-digit Q games around 5Q level, I think there's an average of 4 to 5 every 100 moves, or every 80 to 90 moves. There's at least 4 to 5. And I think if you can get rid of those, then it'll be really well. But when I say average, the moves are usually not during fights. So here you can see there's a lot of fights. Where was one that was slow? So here's one that's slow. Then there was a fight. So I don't think anything was too slow up there. You're defending yourself, so that's fine. This is all fine. So it looks like you only had one one really obviously slow move this game. So that's good. For black, you've got to start working on combinations. You can't kill your opponent every game. It's not possible. Stuff is not going to always die. In fact, it's actually harder to kill stuff than it is to just surround and make points. Most of the time, your goal should be to let it live. You want it to live. If it dies, great, you win. But if it doesn't, you need a plan B. And the majority of the time, it will not die. So you really need to focus on that plan B and just make that your plan A, right? Plan B, it dies, great. Or plan A, if it dies, game over, great, you win. But it goes not so simple. It's going to happen like that every game. So you need to have a backup plan. And that backup plan is to gain profit. Let it live. Sometimes you want to force them to live. and gain profit and thickness on the outside. That's usually much more effective. This area was your last resort, so I can't say too much about that, but that's because you're losing. If you weren't losing, then I would say don't play this way, but you were losing, so you didn't really have much of a choice. You have to try and gain profit while attacking. White played rather well, I think. Black, get rid of the overplay moves and just play simple. Go to my website and look at the Clossi approach. It should really help you out. If you can master the Clossi approach, you can master the basics up to like 1 done. All right, so I guess that's it for this game. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.